Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Today, someone secured their candidate's place. We've got two games to show you: the third place playoff to determine the final candidate's space between Nodirbek Yakubboev and Andrey Esipenko, and we have the grand final of the FIDE World Cup 2025 between Wei Yi and Yavokhir Sindarov. Yesterday was a draw, which you can see on the channel, and today someone may have clinched everything. We've got two games to show you. Well, I've got two games. There's no we, unless you're counting Steve in the background, and my hair. Two games to show you, completely different from each other. We're starting off with Andrey Esipenko versus Nodirbek Yakubboev. If Esipenko wins or draws this game, he gets himself a candidate spot. He won yesterday. Nodirbek has to play, aggressively. He has to try and push. So he starts with knight to f3, we get d5, g3, knight to f6, and he just goes for a straight up ready. A straight up ready, c4, d3, c5, knight jumping in, and he tries to be combative as much as he can. But already on move 8, after he goes for his first think, queen b3 is not the right move, and Esipenko is slightly better. He plays bishop to d6, which targets the knight. The knight gets defended with f4, but now queen c7. Now you have to take in the center. Takes, and bishop takes d5. A mistake on move 11. Why? Because knight takes d5 is the best move, and after queen takes d5, black can get away with b5. Brilliancy. Because that rook is not free. You and I would grab this rook and be like, stupid opponent, he just hung a rook. But there's a bishop b7, queen a7, and knight c6. And the queen is trapped. Knight takes c6 would get played, and you would get queen takes c6. e4, still trying to escape with the queen. No, e4 hangs mate in 2, sorry. That's d4. Yeah, I can't see, that's why. e4 would get played, and now rook a8 finally traps the queen. So b5, brilliant c gets played. I also don't know what's going on with chess.com. So I don't know how many analysis I'm going to do. Chess.com's website is acting weird. Okay, we're just going to have to persist with this, I'm sorry. Because their normal stuff has just disappeared in the events tab. Okay, knight to f3 was the move that was played. Now we get bishop to b7, hits the queen, queen slides over, and now knight d7. e4 finally gets played, c4 striking, bishop to e3, knight to c5, e5, bishop drops back, and now d takes c4, b takes c4. White, and namely Nodirbek Yakubboev, is up a pawn, and he's doing everything he can to create counterplay and to create a dynamic position. But he's worse. He's 100% worse. Knight d2, knight d3. Devastating move. h4. Look at this. He has to go for it. That is the inherent problem with his position. He has to go for it. And he's going to fall victim because rook a d8 now secures that knight. Rook a b1 to defend the pawn. But things are just getting worse. Bishop c5 now. You can take, you're almost forced to. Bishop takes c5, queen takes c5, check. King to h2. Queen e3 now, putting pressure just on everything. And here g4 is played. Because Nodirbek Yakubboev has to go for the attack. He has to win to keep his candidate's hopes alive. And he just loses to knight to c1. Knight to c1. You might say, what's the point? Well, if you take the knight, which is what gets played, rook takes b2, check, and it's mate in 6, king g3, queen e2, mate in 6. h5 prolongs the game, but you will get hunted. You will lose the knight. You will lose everything that you own. Andrey Esipenko goes 2 for 2 against Nodirbek Yakubboev, and is through to the candidates. He has confirmed his place in the candidates. So now we must turn our attention to who's going to win the damn tournament. We've been here for a long time. Multiple, 20-something days, a whole month. This started early November, 20-odd days probably, of chess. Wei Yi, Yakubboev, Sindarov. Yesterday was a draw. Wei Yi's got the white pieces. It starts with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, knight c3, knight f6. I've told you this before. Whenever you see the 4 knights in a Grandmaster game, I wouldn't go anywhere because I don't think it's going to last very long. Bishop e5, knight d4, knight takes, pawn takes, e5, takes, queen takes, pawn takes. We have seen this line before. In the very previous round between Yakubboev, Sindarov and Nodirbek Yakubboev. Bishop c5, queen e2 check, queen e7, queen takes e7, bishop takes e7, short castles. So a slightly different line, per se, variation. c6 now, black spends some time on it. And bishop drops back. It's d5, c4, pawn takes, bishop takes, short castles, rook e1, rook e8, bishop g5 is a lovely move, and now bishop to e6, bishop takes, a3, f6, rook a1, king f7, bishop retreats. We trade off a set of rooks, we trade off the second set of rooks, and this is opposite colored bishops. The players shuffle the bishops and the pieces around, advance a couple of pawns, but neither of them are really playing, and on move 30, as soon as they can, they make a draw, both of whom now have over 1.5 hours left on their clock. So the final of the FIDE World Cup will go one more day, and we will have tiebreaks between Wei Yi and Yakubboev Sindarov, both of whom have confirmed their candidates' places for next year and are just seeking the glory of winning the FIDE World Cup. This is the second time in a row that the FIDE World Cup final has gone to rapid and blitz tiebreaks. The last one between Magnus Carlsen and Praggnanandhaa Rameshbabu also went to tiebreaks. Now that was partly influenced by Magnus having food poisoning. To my knowledge, neither of these players have food poisoning. So you tell me in the comments, how do we get the players to not force tiebreaks? Because in this game, and in Sindarov's previous round, they were more than happy to make quick draws and go to rapid tiebreaks, which does mean more days of chess for them. But what do we think? Let me know in the comments below.